touch.
People always talk about my come up, cause I've been going all every summer. Pussy wanna talk about numbers, but your manager buying swipe show, so by me ain't nobody out now that can touch us.
Alright guys, so let's get right into the deck profile here. First off, we have 3 Salamangreat Foxy. Really good card, helps out a lot of floodgates, especially in the graveyard. You don't really want to use the first effect too often unless you know you're not going to use the second effect, like if you're going to go first and you can get Mirage Stallion without having to use it. And occasionally that comes up. I played some other cards at this tournament that made it easier to get Mirage Stallion, which you guys will see. So I did end up using the first effect a little bit more often, and occasionally I got a good plus off of it, so it's pretty good. 3 Spinny, obviously. Want to see that. Want to see our Salamangreats as much as possible. The next 3 of Flame Buffalo. Really good going first or second, getting that draw. You can chain block it with Balinks to make sure it goes through. Really, really good card. Helps you see a lot of your side deck cards as well, so really good. For the one-offs, we have Gazelle, Jaguar, Falco, Fowl, and then the one-of that's not a Salamangreat card is the Sea Archiver. I really actually like this card. It's another one of those that helps you get Mirage Stallion. For those of you who don't know what it does yet, anytime a monster, including on your opponent's turn, so it's a quick effect, is special summoned to a zone that a link monster points to, it can revive itself from either the graveyard or it can special summon itself from the hand. So it's really good. You can, if it's in the graveyard and you discard it somehow, then it's really good to revive itself and make your Mirage Stallion. So, and it can also block like OTKs and stuff. Like if your opponent clears your board and then special summons a monster to a zone a link monster points to, it might just save your life. So it's really good. Next up, we did have to play dangers in the deck. I played 2 of each of the good ones, Jackalope, Tsuchinoko, and Nessie. Obviously, Jackalope and Tsuchinoko can go in Mirage Stallion, so that's really good. And if you like discard like Sea Archiver or something off of the dangers, then that's really, really good. Even if you discard like some of the Salamangreat spells and traps, you can always just recur it with Sunlight Wolf. So that's not, I wouldn't recommend like setting the spells or traps if you're worried about getting them discarded. People were saying that Nessie may not have been the best choice, but I actually really, really like Nessie. It helped you get obviously your other dangers, and then if they miss it and you special summon Nessie, especially in like the True Draco and Sky Striker matchup, you can use this to link summon into the BLS link, and then makes it untargetable and unable to be destroyed by card effects. So it's really, really good in those matchups, and I really liked it. Unfortunately for the tournament, I didn't have the Blackluster Soldier link, but I would play it if I did have it. But we'll get into that. Also, I'm thinking about playing a Dogman, or a Mothman, excuse me. The Mothman would just a one-of. If I needed to, I could special summon it off of like Jaguar or get it to my hand with Nessie. And that would, the one-of would be really good at just turboing out Abyss Dweller. And I have a feeling Abyss Dweller is going to be really, really impactful in this next format with Orcust and a bunch of other like rogue strategies that rely on the graveyard. So next up for our hand traps, obviously we're playing playing a ton of hand traps. So 3 Phantasme, 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Veiler. The Ghost Ogre is really good. Hits multi-roll, hits LP, hits a bunch of just random stuff. A lot of pendulum cards, so it's really, really good. Effect Veiler was a little lackluster. I didn't want to play in permanents because I am playing Phantasme, and I don't know, I just feel like Veiler is just a little more, has a little bit more utility in this deck especially. And then I did end up main decking triple Nibiru. Triple Nibiru won me so many game 1s, it was ridiculous. People had no idea, like they were not expecting a game 1 Nibiru. So I definitely think it came in really clutch, and with the amount of hand traps that we're playing already, it didn't really hurt to find room for these 3. So yeah, main deck Nibiru, definitely really, really good. Next up we have our spells. We are kind of low on the spell count compared to a normal Salamangreat deck list, but I think that's, with all the dangers and hand traps we're running, that's to be expected. Obviously we're still running 3 mining. I actually found myself siding mining out a lot going second. It just feels really bad to discard something and get it negated, so I usually side this out going second, but still going first is still pretty good. Will the Salamangreat is definitely the best spell card in the deck. It's really good going second especially, but it can help you just extend that a little bit further if you need it going first. Really good card. I think it's good at 1. It can maybe go up to 2, but I'm already at 41 cards right now, so I didn't really want to push it up to 42 cards and add a second Will, but Will is definitely a really good card. Obviously Circle and Sanctuary to round off the spells, and then for the traps we had 1 of each. So obviously those are really good, nothing much to say about those. We will get right into the extra deck here. So standard Salamangreat lineup, so 3 Balinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Heat Leo, pretty standard. For the Link 2s, we had Hita, a Nightmare Phoenix. That's it for the Link 2s. At this tournament, I ended up playing Nightmare Unicorn, only because I couldn't get a hold of the BLS Link, but obviously I would replace this Nightmare Unicorn with a BLS Link. I played an Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. I actually pulled this at the regional, so I was pretty happy about that, but I had another one anyway that I was borrowing, but really good card. Your ending board against, if you know you're going up against combo, should end up being like an Appaloosa with a Dweller, and that usually shuts them out and ends the game pretty quick, so really good card. I played 2 Mirage Stallion. The second one comes up all the time, especially with how many dangers we're running, and when you get into the grind game, it gets kind of hard to, it just makes it easier so that way you don't have to be as careful managing your resources with Jaguar. But a lot of times, like, you don't even have the option to recycle Jaguar, and you just need that second Mirage Stallion. And then obviously the Dweller. So that rounds out the extra deck. Let's go into my side deck here. So for my side deck, I played 1 Imperial Order and 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Really good against Pendulums, which I played 2 of, and Sky Striker, which I played 1 of. So these cards came in a lot, and they were really impactful. I actually never saw Imperial Order, but I did Anti-Spell one of the Pendulum players, and that was basically an auto-win, so really good card. Let's see, I played 3 Twin Twister for back row hate, pretty standard. 3 Artifact Lancias, really good against Orcust and just any banished deck. I didn't play the Gren Magi deck at this regional, but it seems to be getting a little bit more popular, and obviously it just kind of stinks that they have this card cited against them all the time because everyone's citing it for Orcust, but it's really good. One game, I was playing against like a Warrior Orcust build at the top tables, like around 7 or 8, or 6 or 7, I think. And I had a Dweller on field and like a Sunlight Wolf and a Lancia in hand, and I saw him start building, like, I thought it was just going to be an instant scoop, but he ended up just filling up his graveyard with a bunch of, like, darks, and I was like, shoot, if he just happens to be playing, like, a Levianeer or something else that can banish itself or it can cause something to banish that's not from the graveyard, that'd be really bad. So I ended up shotgunning a Lancia after he got 3 darks in the graveyard, and he instantly scooped after that and showed me the Levianeer, so I was really happy with that play there. I played 3 Dark Ruler No More, cited it a lot, didn't really see it too much unfortunately, but yeah, it's a really good card going against combo. You're gonna see it, you're gonna need it pretty often here, especially with like against pure Orcust. It may not be like the very best card, but there's a lot of Orcust variants coming out that are leaving a bunch of negates on board, like Cyber Dragon Infinity. A lot of them are doing Guard Dragon shenanigans, so this really helps out in that case. And then my spicy tech in the side deck was Nightmare Corruptor Iblis. So, one thing that was going to be a really big deal for me that Salamangreats don't really have an out to right now is Nibiru. So, this is what I decided to go with for Nibiru. It really helped out. I usually sided out the Bufferlos for this. You can search it with Signet Mining, normal summon it, and then give your opponent the Iblis. And then they can't Nibiru you, they can't Phantasme, they can't special summon. A lot of times they end up just having to try and crash into like one of your monsters just to get rid of it. And it also shuts off Sky Striker spells, which is really nice. I know that a lot of times like they can just area 0 it or multi-roll it or link it off, but a lot of times that's not the most optimal play. I did play one Sky Striker round 8 to make top 8 basically, and I drew the Ibly and gave it to him, and the only thing that he could do was normal summon Ray and link into a Phoenix or something really awkward that he didn't have the optimal play for. So and it shut off all the spells and traps, so I really like that card. Probably going to stick with it at the next regional. I really enjoyed playing this one. Obviously you don't want to give it to like an Orcus player or anything, but other than that, it's pretty good. All right, guys, so that's the deck. I really enjoyed playing the deck. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing it for a while. Even though the ban list hit it recently, I think it's still got a lot of life, still got a lot of deck building and intuitiveness to it that I think I really enjoy. As far as my matchups for the tournament, so I went 7-1, X1, 6th place. I played a Gravekeeper deck, pure Crusadia Kaiju Lightsworn going 2nd deck. My only loss was round 3 to a Danger Crusadia Thunder player, and honestly I probably could have had that win, but I broke his whole board. He won the die roll. I broke his whole board, and then I forgot that I went into battle phase already to bait the Hieratic Seal. So I went into battle phase, baited the Hieratic Seal, made a whole bunch of plays like I was going to have a 2nd battle phase because I don't know what the heck I was thinking. And as soon as I said battle phase, he was like, "Oh, you already went into battle phase," and I'm like, "Oh shoot!" So I left like nothing on board. I had no plays to make, and he just came back and OTK'd me. In game 2 wasn't too eventful. I should have had a better go of it, but he ended up debuting me when I didn't have my Ibly. So because I was going first, I don't cite it, or I mean I should have. I did cite it, but I didn't see it. So that was kind of unfortunate, and he ended up debuting me. So that was the game on that one. And then round 4 and 5, I played back-to-back Pendulum. Beat both of them. Side deck cards really helped. A lot of the hand traps helped. I Nibiru'd both players in one of the games, and those were instant wins there. And then I played a Warrior Orcus build, and then I played a Pure Orcus build. And then it was kind of like a going 2nd type Orcus build. I think he did end up going first, but he was playing like Vishuda and Instant Fusion. And then round 8, I think my final matchup there was Sky Striker, and I ended up 2-0 in the Sky Striker. Phantasme really came in clutch in that match. So yeah, it was a really good tournament. I really enjoyed playing this deck. I'm going to play it again at the next regional, see how it goes. Try out some, maybe mix some of my ratios around a little bit and see what happens. But I do want to give a quick shout out to like Altoona Regionals is doing really well. Critical Hit Games in Iowa City, Iowa, one of the best regionals out there, or one of the best locals out there. And then of course ScrewTheRulez YuGiOh, and I want you guys to go down there and hit that subscribe button right now. So anyways, that's it for me, and we're out.
Search. People always talk about my come up, cause I've been going all every summer. Pussy wanna talk about numbers, but your manager buying swipe show, so by me ain't nobody out now. They can